Good morning. In light of the latest scientific evidence and the advice of the World Health Organisation, the Scottish Government has updated guidance around the wearing of face coverings in schools. As from Monday, the 31st of August, face coverings should be worn by adults and young people in secondary schools when moving about the school in corridors and also in communal areas, including toilets. This means that when you're moving from one class to another, or are in the school building during break or lunchtime, then you will need to wear a face covering. You may temporarily remove your face covering when eating or drinking. Face coverings are not required to be worn in classrooms, however, anyone wishing to is permitted to do so. Face coverings should also now be worn on buses and other public transport on the way to and from school. It is important that all adults and young people in our school are clear about how they should put on and remove face coverings safely. Face coverings should never be shared with others. Before putting on or removing a face covering, hands should be cleaned by washing with soap and water or a hand sanitizer. Be careful not to touch your eyes, nose and mouth when putting on or removing a face covering. Hand sanitizers are available at all entry points to our school building and also on entry and exit to classrooms. Learners and staff will therefore have access to hand sanitizer before putting on or removing face coverings. Face coverings should cover your nose and mouth and should be secured under your chin. You should avoid touching the front of your face coverings and never put them in your mouth. Always handle your face covering by the ear loops or strings. It is also important to know how to store your face covering safely when not in use. When you are not using your face covering, it should be stored in a washable, sealed bag or container. Avoid placing it on surfaces, for example, desks or tables. Reusable face coverings should be washed after each day of use at 60 degrees centigrade or in boiling water. When you're finished with a disposable face covering, please make sure that it is disposed of safely and hygienically into a general waste bin. What is an appropriate face covering? There are many different types of face coverings. To be a face covering, it must cover your mouth and nose. A face shield is not a face covering. If a face shield is being used, a face covering should also be worn underneath. Face coverings used in school should not have any inappropriate pictures or language on them. Face covering exemptions. Some adults and young people will not be required to wear a face covering. For example, if you have a health condition or a disability where wearing a face covering could cause you discomfort or distress. The school will have a supply of face coverings to issue to anyone who arrives at school without one. Initial scientific evidence suggested that the key benefit from wearing a face covering was to protect others around you. However, recent studies are now suggesting that the wearer is also protected. It is therefore really important that everyone follows this latest guidance around the wearing of face coverings, so that we keep everyone in our school safe and well. Many thanks for your cooperation in this matter. Thank you.